Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is assuring victims of the recent floods in the Upper East region that government will do everything in its part to support them. The Vice President is currently on a two-day tour of that region. He made a stop at Kobori in the Boku West District, where a portion of the Bolgatanga-Boku Road has been totally washed off, cutting off the eastern part of the region from the capital. Listen.
So this morning we are here on the Bolga-Boku Road, specifically on the Kobori stretch, where the road has been completely washed off. On the other side of what you are seeing is the Kobori Bridge, which earlier in the week had been flooded. So what the police together with NADMO have done is to set up blockades on each side of this broken portion of the road to prevent people from crossing. Now, on the edges of the road, erosion has taken place and the road is gradually just eating away. And considering the fact that this road is currently under construction, this is a major damage. The president, the vice president, I should say, is set to visit this place. And already people are waiting for him to come and inspect this damage that has taken place here at Kobori. He will tell us what government plans to do. But this is the damage that the recent heavy rains coupled with the spillage of the Bagre Dam has caused. The this portion of the Kobori Bazua stretch of the Bolgatanga-Boku Road has completely given way, and the water is just rushing across the road.
Now Albert is joining me with more. Hi Albert.
Hello, Gifty.
Tell us, what assurances is Vice President Bawumia giving these people?
Yeah, so the Vice President has been telling the people of the Upper East region that he is saddened by the effect of the floods this year, and he's been assuring them that government will do everything possible to support them. He has just been addressing the people of Anatim in the Bolga municipality, the communities that have been affected, and some of the victims are currently being housed in a school. They've brought some items which will be presented to them. The Vice President is currently addressing them as well. But he's been given the assurance that government is going to do everything possible to support them. He's also spoken about the Polugu multipurpose dam, which he says is under construction. And in the future, when it is completed, it will help alleviate these perennial floods.
There's no other way of looking at it. And it's a disaster that has been caused by a combination of the spillage of the Bagre Dam and heavy rainfall. So we've been really hit with a double whammy. We always know about the perennial spillage from the Bagre Dam. And as at last year, they were spilling around 8 million gallons a minute. And we were reasonably able to control it. Last year, a lot of desilting of rivers took place, and the impact of the spillage was relatively controlled. This year, instead of the 8 million gallons that they started with, about 4 million, went up to 8 million, they are now spilling about 29 million gallons a minute, which is extremely large as far as my information is concerned. And then combined with that, the rains that have come down at the same time, and that has resulted in flooding across Upper East and Northeast regions. Here, just at the Kobori Bridge here, we've seen that the roads have essentially eaten away the road, and you have a big gap left, and nobody can cross from Zebila going towards Oku because there is this breakaway of the road. So we have come here to assess what the situation is. There is a contractor on this road, the Bolga-Boku Road, and once the water subsides, we've already talked to the contractor about how we are going to deal with this matter once the water subsides, and they have some ideas about how to quickly move in and deal with this matter, assess the structural strength of the bridge that is just outside here, and we will do that. What we are very concerned, however, in the whole area is about lives and livelihoods of our people. We know we've lost their livestock, they've lost their plants, the farming that they have done. They've lost a lot of crops as a result. And we have to find a way to help these farmers, to provide relief for these farmers, because when you lose your farm, that is a year's income that you have lost. And so we will have to take that into consideration and see how we can cushion all of these farmers who have lost their livelihoods. At the end of the day, this is a problem that we have kept experiencing year after year. And the question that I'm sure is on the minds of many Ghanaians is, what are we really doing about it? As I said, we have basically understood that to deal with this problem fundamentally, we have to have a flood control in the context of the Bagre Dam project. That is the most important antidote to all of these problems. And that is why we have moved and secured the Bagre Dam project. This project is going to be the biggest dam project that we have had in the northern part of Ghana. And the biggest investment is about $1 billion. Now, the contractors at the Bagre Dam are on site. There are 3 contractors. They are on site, and currently they are also, they've cleared the site all the way to the river, and they are waiting for the water to subside before they really start work. They need to divert the water. And so they will wait for the rains to subside, and then they will divert the water and start. But that is the fundamental solution to this. Thankfully, the consultations with the chiefs and opinion leaders during this process, because there was advanced information that spillage was going to occur. And I think we were able to get many people to move from the low-lying areas, and that has actually helped us in the context of the loss of life. We could have had even a worse situation in terms of loss of lives. 10 is too many. We are going to do whatever we can to provide relief to the people who have suffered here. There are truck drivers who are stuck on both sides of this road. They can't get in or out. We have to find a way to see how to help the truck drivers.
That's Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia there. Albert, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
And so he's been assuring the people of what has to be done, or the plans, you know, the long-term plans about building the dam, etc. How do the people accept these, you know, words of comfort, so to speak?
Yes, the people have been, you know, excited about the Vice President's coming because the fears had been that it appeared help was still far away. But his coming to meet them face to face, speak to them, and to personally present these relief items to them have given them some hope. We are currently at Anatim, and the chief of the area is just speaking to us after the Vice President gave his address. And he's actually showing gratitude to the Vice President and the regional minister and the government officials who have come here to commiserate with the people for the losses they incurred during these floods.
Have you had the opportunity to engage some of the victims? You say that some of them have been taken to, get some, take refuge in some classrooms. If you have interacted with them, what do they tell you?
Yes, so they've actually selected one of the community members to speak on behalf of the rest of them. She is actually just telling the vice president that they are excited about it. In fact, I'm reporting to you from one of the classrooms where some of these people have been sleeping, and you see that they have some mattresses. They've moved away the classroom furniture to create space, and they put down some mattresses and tied mosquito nets under which they have been sleeping. So it's reassuring for these people who were sort of losing hope before the vice president arrived.
Albert, thank you very much. It'll be interesting to find out how they do in these classrooms in the coming days. Albert Soy is our Upper East Regional Correspondent, bringing us up to speed on the Vice President interaction with the people there following the great losses they've incurred because of the flood and the opening of the Bagre Dam, the spillage of the Bagre Dam. Let's go to another place that has been affected by the spillage and the rains, Northeast region. Well, the Minister, Solomon Boa, has been warning some of the victims there in the affected district to desist from trying to salvage their farm produce and other belongings from areas that have been submerged. It appears that's what they're doing. It's been days of torrential rains, adding to the woes of the residents there after the spillage of the dam and the Bagre Dam and another one. Donating relief items to 1 out of 5 affected districts in the region, the minister told the victims there is the need to hold on until the floods have receded so as to avoid recording any more deaths.
You see that the passenger has been cut off completely from the rest of the Mampuku. The passenger is part of the West Mampuku municipality. So that's the next community from here. So it means that nobody can access any social services from the West Mampuku municipality coming from the Mampuku Maburi unless the Upper East region. So this is the more reason why we keep talking about the Porgu multi-purpose dam, that people should embrace and pray that this construction sees the light of the day to solve this problem once and for all. I can tell you that at the end of the day, when this water is gone, the devastation, the facilities that are going to be destroyed, especially water points, food stuff, is something that you cannot get described. So I want to call on Ghanaians to say a very big thank you to His Excellency the President, especially with those around the Northeast region. There is no politics about it. What we are saying is something that we are all feeling it here. I am very sure that everybody here is just praying that we finish this engagement and leave here within the next 5 minutes. Because everybody is scared about the water. Because we are in the middle of the water. But that is service to Mother Ghana. We are here to let the whole country know that the place is really, the situation is a very terrible one. And I'm sure that our people will listen to the information that is coming from the meteorological department, that we should not take anything for granted going forward, because more rains are yet to come. So if more rains are yet to come, even those who are capable enough and they are these canoe people, please, they should listen to the advice and stay away from the water for some time now. We are just from a funeral house where we are counting the losses of 2 of our brothers who lost their lives because they had to come and take the risk of harvesting their maize. They were good as I believe that they were as good as these people who are also paddling their canoes. We want to encourage everybody that we should stay away from this situation for now, so that when everything goes down, then life can return to normal. This is a force majeure. This is something that is beyond human understanding. And once it's beyond human understanding, nobody has an antidote to it, apart from the fact that we have to ensure that the problem of the Papers Dam construction sees the light of day. This is what I want to leave with every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the Northeast region, and for that matter, the Mopuru estate. So I want to thank you once again for being part of this trip to see at first hand what is happening around this area. Game changer, obviously, this $1 billion, almost $1 billion project is something that will really go a long way to at least keep this unfortunate perilous situation once and for all. And we can only thank the Almighty God that we have a leader who thinks through and is able to make sure that the things that are put in place are things that will really go a long way to resolve major crises that have engulfed this country for a very long time. So be rest assured that when we are able to finish the construction of the program of the Papers Dam, in future when you see us here, then we are talking about how they are using the dam to really get involved in farming activities all year round, and not to be talking about the fact that people's farms have been destroyed, lives have been lost, and what have you. So His Excellency the President Nana Adonko Akufo-Addo's government is very, very serious in addressing this issue, and I'm sure that we can only continue to pray for good health for him. We can probably continue to pray for good health for the Honorable DC, our parliamentary candidate, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, who has been all over trying to see how he can also contribute his quota in making sure that temporarily this family smiles. We were able to put smiles on the faces of this family. So thank you very much, everyone.
That's the Northeast Minister, Regional Minister there, and that woman standing in front of her certainly looks like a widow of one of the deceased. Now, some of the flood victims themselves have been counting their losses. They've been talking to us and they're appealing for support.
Nobody even get anything, but it was this month, the end of this month, I have like the means will be ready for them to have their back. So even if you go around here, take the plane to Rankia, you see the water. But the people go there, you know. That one day we were going to dig planting first, so they were going to see whether they can try and get some use. So they were in the middle of the water and the ship just then. So they couldn't survive.
So
I don't think so.
Nobody.
No.
So you said
Yes.
how much of that farm is destroyed by water, or all?
There are acres or it's about 7 or 8 acres, 7.5. All is destroyed.
It's a maize or rice?
Yes, maize.
So what will you do now? How will you leave?
Now, only God knows because now it's burning them. And they made we have some maize farms around the community. That one to the rain is falling down. The rain is falling every day. That one to is falling now. It's not the water river on side, but the houses from the one that near the farm. The rain to spoil down. For managing, like some of us we went to South do some small job.
Can you speak aloud?
When the dry season comes, some of us will run to South and do some small job.
I heard some because of the water.
Yes, no anything to drink, no food, no anything.
So they have to travel.
They have to travel to South.
And you?
Many rooms has been full about uncountable. It's now uncountable because just today now, one store has just fallen at that place by the road. I don't know. Many.
So where did you go?
Well, they have to find some of their relatives and then go to them and then they'll.
Are some people sleeping with you in your house?
Yeah. 5 friends sleeping with me because of that.
Friends?
5 friends.
Sleeping with you?
Yes.
So Nadmo is here and the regional minister is here. What do you need now?
Well, if they can get us food and our first thing should be food. Then Of our second one should be when they get us something like cement for us to build in the dry season time, so that when it is the rainy season comes like this, we shouldn't be having any challenge again. Yeah, the rain has, or let me say, the flood has just destroyed everything, and there's nothing that we can do again.
Let's get to the ground now. Eliasu Tanko is our correspondent for Northeast Region. Eliasu, you've been interacting with some of these victims of the floods, and they tell you what they need. But before you left the area, were you able to reach out to any of the family members of those who have been killed by this disaster?
Yes, we spotted the wife of one of the people who died on Saturday when they tried to use their canoe to harvest on their farmland. And the house was full of emotions. She gave us the details of how her husband died. She said the husband left her. The husband left her and went to the farm field to harvest the milk. And for 3 days, she wasn't hearing of the husband. And so she told the family members what transpired before the husband left. And the family members had to organize a local search party to go into the farms, to visit the farm. And they searched for the husband, and they found the husband dead in the water. And she was also appealing to government to come to aid, because the husband left about 3 children, and she was the only one who was going to take care of the children. So she asked for government intervention to take care of the children. We also spoke to some family members who, because the regional minister, on behalf of government, donated some undisclosed amount to the family as well. And they were very grateful to the minister for that particular intervention.
And certainly this will be devastating for her, having lost her husband this way. We saw the minister, make some donation. The amount is undisclosed, but what exactly did he give to these people?
Well, there were some food items that were sent not to only the family who lost their relative, but also some community members who also lost their farmlands and also their houses and other properties. They made donation of plastic rubbers, the blankets, children mattresses, food stuff, rice, and some cooking oil and other stuff like blankets and also zinc. Like the person who was speaking, one of the residents was speaking to us, asking for cement.
Yeah, and
then also some roofing sheets or zinc to roof up. The minister sent some roof there, and then also other stuff.
All right,
donated to other victims who also lost their properties to the flood.
I believe that the minister has wrapped up his visit there. He's done. What is the situation right now? Has the flooding subsided anyway?
Well, for the whole day, as we speak right now, we have not had any rains today, but we understand the water from the Bagre Dam are still coming, especially those living around the White Water River, especially those also living in the River Oti area in the Cherponi district, for instance. We understand the water is still coming, but for today, as this morning, we have not had rain. The rains have stopped as we speak.
Sounds good to me, Eliasu. Thank you. Unless there's anything more that our audience need to know, that's it for me for now. Eliasu Tanko is our correspondent for Northeast Region. Very difficult situation they're dealing with right now up north.